Comet-san! Hi! Hello my fellow mahouts and magis, and thank you for tuning into my channel. I'm your magical host, Cloud. Today's topic is about the 2001 animated series, Cosmic Baton Girl Comet-san. As most of you know, it's one of my favorite magical girl shows, but I feel like I don't talk about it enough, despite it being my favorite magical girl show aside from Star Twinkle Precure. So, let's start off with a little bit of history. It all started in June of 1967 when a then 32-year-old Yokohama Mitsuteru, also known for Tetsujin 28 Go, Giant Robo, and another famous magical girl, Mahoucloud Sally, had his comic known as Comet-san published onto Margaret magazine by publisher Shueisha. The manga itself would run from June 10th to November 11th of 1967, only for it to get a live-action adaptation only less than a month after its initial publication. The first live-action running from July 3rd, 1967 to December 30th, 1968. This version starring Kokona Yumiko and directed by Mr. Yokohama himself, alongside Yoshikazu Otsuki, airing on the Tokyo Broadcasting System. This live-action adaptation would go on to have 79 episodes. 10 years later, on June 12, 1978, the manga and live-action series would air a new version of the original show, this time starring Oba Kumiko and directed by Yuasa Noriaki and Tomika Yoshiharu. This version was set to air on the Tokyo Broadcasting System and would go on to air 68 episodes and then end on September 24th, 1979. And this brings us to the early 2000s, almost exactly 34 years after the initial release of the manga on Margaret, when on April 1st, 2001, the show that most know today as Cosmic Baton Girl Comet-san would air its first episode of an entirely pretty much brand new story. In the original manga and first adaptation of Comet-san, Comet-san was sort of like an in-home nanny to the two boy siblings, where her being a princess wasn't a thing until the anime was released. As one Reddit user puts it, she was considered the Mary Poppins of Japan. And in the second live-action adaptation, she had a goal that's pretty similar to current-day Comet, but still just a little bit different. Her goal was to find a sample of beauty in the universe, which was love. Current-day Comet, compared to the original, is now a princess who was sent to the planet Earth from Harmonica Starworld to find the Prince of Tambourine Starworld, alongside her companion Ramble. Now obviously the animated show is pretty easy to find, especially with English subs, just not legally. So search for them at your own discretion. As an American fan who is severely a beginner in learning Japanese, especially hiragana and katakana, or worse yet, for people who don't know Japanese, it's very hard to find, let alone watch the live-action adaptation, either of them actually, or even find the manga. So if anyone knows where I can find it, please let me know by sending me a DM on Instagram. Some little fun facts is that the live-action adaptation was dubbed in Spanish-speaking countries, such as Mexico, Venezuela, Costa Rica, etc. So if you are a Spanish speaker or come from a Spanish speaking country and you've watched the original Comet-san, please let me know in the comments. Did you like it? Did you enjoy it? Please tell me, because I don't speak Spanish, but I really just want to watch it so bad. So please just let me know in the comments if you've watched it before. Now let's move on to talking about the characters. I'll mainly be going over important characters, and I'll be talking a little bit about side and supporting characters, but only ones that mainly show up in the show. Starting off with our main girl, dare I say even our star, Comet herself. Comet is a young princess from the planet Harmonica Star World, voiced by Akineda. Comet is a little bit naive and very kind-hearted and likes to help others. Her story starts off with her leaving Harmonica to the planet known as Earth in search of Tambourine Star Country's prince who ran away from Earth. She was tasked with finding the prince, which she doesn't particularly care to find him, because if she does, she'll likely have to marry him, which means she gets to go to Earth. Which this excites her as she is very much interested in exploring Earth, just as her mother did and her aunt did before her. She is also accompanied by a small creature known as Rubber Boat. When she arrives to Earth, she struggles to adjust until she meets a mother who allows her to stay with her family as a host family. Next is Rubber Ball, which is likely a play on Rubber Ball. Voiced by Taeko Kawata, he is a creature from a little star world, tasked with accompanying Comet in her mission to find the prince by Higanoshita, an old man that watched over Comet and normally teaches her about her duties as a princess. He can be very dedicated and honestly, in my opinion, very funny with his antics, especially towards Rubber Ball. Rubber Ball is able to detect what is called twinkles, which is basically a high amount of aspiration and motivation for something you pour your whole heart and love into, such as a chef who is in love and dedicated to their craft. He helps Comet look for the prince with this skill, due to the prince often being described as the one with the twinkling in his eye. Next is Princess Meteo, and my personal favorite because I find her super duper funny. Voiced by Chieko Honda, in referring to Chieko, she voiced in Tsubasa Chronicles, Mermaid Melody, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, Full Moon, Wu Sagashite, Character U, Revolutionary Girl Otana, Aka Zukin Chaka, Wedding Peach, Nurse Angel Rika SOS, Hana no Mohoskai Medibel, Maho no Angel Sweet Mint, and in a Ceremon OVA and more. A huge magical resume and definitely some high hitters in there as well. Princess Meteo is from the Castanet Star Country and sees herself as Comet's rival, which she is but kinda isn't, due to Comet not seeing her as a rival but as a friend. Unlike Comet, Meteo is loud, selfish, and rude. Though she can have a more kinder and generous side, she doesn't get to show it quite often. Meteo's mother had a high expectation of her during the series to find the prince before Comet, which could lend to the reasoning for her behavior. Near the end of the series, she becomes a bit more mellowed out due to her developing a crush on one of the side characters, Shun, who is a young boy singer. Now there is Mook. Mook is Meteo's companion in her journey to find the prince. He is similar to Rebel with being able to find twinkles in that he is from another little star world. He's more on the serious side and is often finding himself at the end of Meteo's wrath. Some other important characters would be Kiesuke, who I consider a love interest to Comet due to her developing feelings for him. He can come off a bit rude, but he's also a well-meaning young kid who wants to be a lifeguard. He works under the host family's father that Comet is staying with. And then there is Shin, who is a young rising star who first develops a crush on Comet after waking up in a sleepy haze, and her being the first thing he sees, and then to refer to her as an angel. He also received a lot of help from her throughout the series. Higanoshita is Comet's mentor, an old man who's harsh on Rebel so he can stay focused and stay in line and do his job to mentor Comet. Aunt Spica, Comet's aunt, who came to Earth prior to Comet, she ended up staying on Earth due to her falling in love. Rabba Pyon, Spica's companion, who has a hot and cold personality. She stayed on Earth alongside Spica and started dating Rabable when they met. Soshio and Nene are, Soyushi? I want to say Soyushi and Nene are fraternal twins who get up to shenanigans with Comet. They're the only ones on Earth aside from Aunt Spica and Rabba Pyon who knows that she's not from Earth and can use magic. Aside from one other character who is very... I feel bad for him a little bit because he thinks he's going crazy, kind of. Ketero and Sayaka are the mother and father to Tsuyoshi and Nene respectively. They are also Comet's host family, like the head of household. Sayaka owns and runs an antique shop, and Ketero owns a boat and often enjoys life on the ocean as a hobby, or to bus kiesuke around. Now let's talk about toys. The only toy that I own from the show is this second part of the anime Baton, where Ramble, like every time he sees or thinks about Pion, he gets all lovey-dovey, and like it causes Comet to transform into like a love version of herself that I will show here. And it's such a cute little outfit, and the baton is so cute, but that is besides the point. This one sadly does not work, so I cannot show you it like how it would do. If I can find a video, I will definitely show it up here. If not, it is what it is. But basically this is supposed to be like kind of a sort of like a remote. Hold on, let me get the box real quick. So this is what the box looks like. I have the plastic on the side of me. This is what it looks like on the back. That's what the Comet pack looks like, and I want it so bad. I'll actually talk about that in a minute. But the wand is supposed to kind of be like a remote. If people know like the little Barbie dolls or like whatever for the animated movies, that was used to like sort of be used as like a remote for like remote play on the TVs with the movies. This is kind of what it's supposed to be like. And as you can see, there's like a little quote-unquote console and like the wires and stuff. You're supposed to hook this to the TV so you can play with it. Sadly, since the wand does not work, that technically does not work, but that is okay as long as I got this wand, because it was a decently cheap wand, even if it doesn't work. But this little piece right here, this ribbon, is actually a ring, because in the transformation, Comet wears a ring on her finger. But I got this for $47, I think, dollars, and I'll probably like show like a scroll right here of me going through Mercari Japan. And this show itself has a really bad overpricing problem. So most of the compacts, most of the wands, especially the first compact and wand, tend to retail about $400, $300, $500, and I feel like we should not be paying this much for a shirt that came out in 2001, especially a plastic toy, and most likely it does not work. But I digress. I hope that one day I will get at least the matching compact for that, or the first season wand and the compact for a decent price. Oh, what? I feel like I'm asking for a lot. Now it is time for an interview with Dore Imani. Dore Imani is a content creator who loves Doremi, like as in Audremajo Doremi, and she agreed to do a little interview with me to talk about Comet-san. So please enjoy. Hello everyone. I am currently interviewing Imani, aka Dore
Hello.
Imani. Please tell us about yourself, your pronouns, who you are, what do you do?
My name is Imani. I go by Dore Imani on social media. I my pronouns are she, her. I talk about a lot of magical girl adjacent shows and manga, and I review them on my channel. And that is what I like to do. I enjoy it. It's fun.
It's fun. Me too. That's how we describe it, so as being honest. But today I have you here so we can talk about Cosmic Baton Girl Comet-san because as you know, but the viewers probably don't know, we actually watched it together.
Mhm.
So I have compiled a small little list of questions for you. And yeah, let me actually quickly, I'm like on my phone on the side right here, real quick, because I was gonna look up your most recent video. So
Oh goodness.
in case anybody wants to follow her, I'm gonna have links to everything. But this is her Facebook. This is her YouTube.
Whoa.
I'm gonna link it in the description later, but it is go watch her latest video. I don't have the hair bows with me, but you know what? Let me grab them. Let me grab them.
No, you don't have to.
I'm grabbing them.
Oh my goodness.
So she is an aspiring shopkeeper who wants to make her own handmade crafts. I already own one of her two drops, which is these Momote lollipop themed hair bows. This
Oh
one
my
is like
goodness.
a reddish pink color, and then this one is more like a clear color. We're gonna see if these
Yes.
can stick on my head.
Oh my god, that's so cute.
Let's see.
Please.
We are going.
That's funny.
There we go. Okay, that is actually really cute.
Oh my god.
But please go.
I appreciate it.
Yes, I like spending money, so spending money on you is a very easy option. But go check out her channel. Um, she may have another video coming out soon. And keep in mind, she has done two of these drops already in a row, so maybe she got something cooking up. Maybe. We'll have to see.
No,
We'll
oh my
we'll
god.
see in the future. But let's get on to the real question. So here I got like a little list here. I don't really know how many questions I have here because I am too lazy to count and I'm bad at math. So
It's okay.
is it? But um first let's start off with the really easy questions.
Mhm.
First question. Favorite character?
From Comet-san. Um, Probably Comet. I really liked how upbeat she was, but also kind of normal, like, she wasn't too airheaded or wasn't too this or that. I liked her mellow, nature, and I liked how she was a really good older sister to the twins, even though um did she have siblings? I don't think she had siblings of her own, but she was a very, like, good, like, role model and an older sister to them, and it was very sweet. Um, if not Comet, I would probably say Meteo because she was very funny to watch. I loved seeing her, cope and thinking that thinking that Comet was, like, always out to get her even though she wasn't, and it was very funny. She's a very relatable character at times.
I get that. I like how you was like I like Matthew otherwise because she had to cope.
I'm sitting here like she was hoping, she was seething. I love Mateo. She's my personal favorite. She's a hot mess. Relatable. But next would be favorite companion. So that would be like Mokorababo
Oh, oh my gosh.
or even Rabapion.
Right. Um, I really like Rabapion's design. Like, I really love a little rabbit. I just love a little rabbit.
I
But but,
understand.
like, based on personality, I would probably say Rababo. He was
That's
very
fair.
cute
He was
and
very cute.
silly.
I love the fact that his name is like a play on rubber ball.
Ah.
Rubber
Oh!
ball.
I
Yeah.
didn't even think about that until now.
I was like writing the script of like the entire video and I was sitting here like rubber ball. Oh, rubber
Yeah,
ball.
I
That
get it.
it's
But there was
another
also Moku? Was that
mo
his
I'm not
yeah,
sure what he's a play on, honestly.
maybe nothing. Maybe it's just
Maybe. I wish there was like more information available for us because it was really hard researching for that video. It was very
Mhm.
hard researching for that video. But especially since I don't speak Japanese at all. So
A lot of the translator app probably.
it was unfortunate. But honestly it is like a lot of based off of like the Wikipedia, the wikis, and what I know off my hands and other people's
Mhm.
experiences and all that kind of fun stuff. Sorry. Um, I am sick still. Just want to get that out of the way because I already told you off camera, but the viewers
Yes,
do not know. So if I just mute, it's because I'm dying of coughing.
you are
It's
sticking through it.
I am
We
because
already had to reschedule and you are
yeah.
sticking through it. Wow.
And I am I'm tired. The show must go on, but it's fine. What was your favorite item from the show? So we're gonna stick with like the simple like transformation devices and the wands.
Mhm. Aha.
The simple wands and so that can include this wand, her first wand, her first like brooch, her second brooch, Comet
Right.
Meteo's brooch, Meteo's one, Meteo's second brooch, or Meteo's first wand. I mean second one. So like the second one has like a rose on it.
I would say the first wand. The first Comet-san wand is my wand of choice. The one that's just straight up a baton, and it's hard to find on the second I haven't looked in a while, but it was really hard to, like, look for it on the secondhand market back when we were watching it.
I get it. I get what you're saying because I'm not gonna say I agree because I'm very biased as you can see, but
Mhm.
I get it. It is a cute watch. I actually agree. Um, say for me, my favorite is the second one. I'm not pulling that back down because that was a lot of work to get it back up. But but I'd say it would be that or the second like the second brooch because the little brooch was so cute and like how she got it because like Rababu was so in love with Rabapure. That was a very cute way of receiving that brooch.
Yeah, that
I love
whole
it.
I didn't expect it to happen that way.
It When I first watched it, I honestly didn't expect it either, but then I was like, "Oh, that's a really cute way of like getting
Yeah.
a power up. I love it." It was
Mhm.
giving, if you will. It was slaying. Favorite episode? If you like, it's okay if you don't remember any specific episodes, but like, if you can recall one, because I'm sure you do recall a
Yeah.
few.
For my favorite episode, I think, it was a Meteo episode. It was I think it I wanna say it was involving her oh my god! It was a Meteo episode. I know, like, it's either about her mom or it could have been about, like,
June.
them going ooh, it might have been them going to back to was it the star planet that it was called?
Mm,
And,
like near the end.
yeah, like, when Comet didn't become we're kinda spoiling it, but when Comet
It's
didn't
fine.
become, like, the princess and
Oh, like to marry the
oh,
prince. Oh, I
yes.
remember because you really liked that. Like, I think it was the very last episode, actually. I think you said you really liked it
Yeah.
because of how Meadow was like going in on the prince because he randomly
Yeah.
died. I
Yeah.
I know.
Mhm.
Favorite episode.
I'm realizing that I had a lot of favorite episodes and moments. I really liked one that I was just recalling was, like, when Meteo was realizing that she was really in love with the singer boy, I forgot his name, but
Sean.
she was like yes, she was, like, trying to get his love and attention, and he ended up I think he ended up, like, confessing to Comet, and it was, like, really heartbreaking because it was like he wanted that happy that happy ending or happy situation for Meteo considering she's kind of, like, doomed from the start with, like, where she is versus where Comet is in their, journeys to competing to become the princess.
This
But,
man.
I also really liked when Comet would visit her aunt who
Let's
lived
speak of lover.
yes, she lived in I don't know, some far country in the mountains.
I think she just lived in Japan, but it was like further like next to the mountains because it would like snow a lot and stuff like that.
Yes, I loved that because you could see Comet learning that she could have a future all her own and that she doesn't have to do what the council or whomever, from the star planet wants her to do and wants her to become, and that her aunt Spica is an example of that, so it was really sweet when they shared, those times together, and I also liked how, like just a side note, I liked how the transportation element worked of her going to Aunt Spica. I thought that was really clever, and I wish we had that in real life,
No,
but
honestly, like if that was possible, I'd be able to just like, boom, I'm already at the bookstore, or I'm already at the
exactly.
anime store, or even like Japan Village. Like,
We
please
literally need
invent
this.
that. I need that in my life. But let's go on to least favorite character, if you have one.
Hmm. I don't
Hmm.
necessarily have a least favorite, but I was very annoyed by, um, I wanna say Ka Kasuke?
Kiesuke,
Kiesuke.
the
I
ten one.
yes, I wasn't and I didn't dislike his character. I think it's just always a matter of this little guy doesn't know that people care for him, and it being frustrating to watch that,
That is
but it's
completely
just
fair.
it just comes down to, like, that's just his age group and what his age he doesn't have
Yeah,
the emotional intelligence there
this is
yet,
true.
so, unfortunately, he is my least favorite.
That is fair. I honestly cannot argue with that at all. I don't have a rebuttal. I'm sorry. I can't even argue with that because that is extremely
Agreed.
fair. I'm not gonna say agreed, but that is fair.
Uh-huh.
Um, next question. If
Mhm.
you have one, least favorite episode.
Mm, I don't have a least favorite specific episode. I think that I was a little taken aback towards the end because it seems to kind of get rushed near the end, and it felt like there were more plot threads that could have been seen to their completion, especially with Comet and Keisuke. I felt like that was built up over the entire course of the series, and the resolution it wasn't as grandiose maybe as it could have
It
been.
was
Like,
not satisfying
yeah, it was.
whatsoever.
So I think that's where my gripes are with the show. But I
That's
think you said
fair.
that like it was it wasn't canceled, was it? Was it like cut off at earlier than it should have been?
I want to say that it was because it's the way that it ended was so abrupt, and
Mhm.
you could tell like they had a lot more story to like want to continue, but
Right.
whether it be it's because like they got canceled or like maybe they were cut short, whatever budget, it obviously something happened to where they couldn't continue any further. So
Mhm.
it is what it is. It is what it
It
is.
is what it is.
And I'm sad about it. I'm sad about it. I am. But we mustn't dwell on that, you know? We must look to the future. We got a bunch of like new animes and all the fun stuff this year. So we gotta
Yes,
look to the future in terms of
true.
magical girl media. Um, favorite opening.
Oh, definitely the second one. I wanna step up. I wanna wake up.
Wake up,
Da, 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 da. Comet-san.
right.
Hi.
Hi.
Da, 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 da.
So the viewers would already see this, but I had did like a little skit at the beginning of the video where I was like, "Come in, the sun," and I was like, "Hi." I'm so
Hi.
excited for you to see that when I put this video
It's so
out.
cute.
It is, but I agree that opening slaps. It is a banger. Like if
It is very
you
fun.
were, I'm talking to you directly this time, not you, Imani, the viewer. If you haven't watched it yet, please go watch Comet-san, especially the second opening. Chef's kiss, you know? It is genuinely good. If I was to like
It is very good.
it's a banger. It's a solid one. It honestly is.
Mhm.
Favorite ending?
So now I'm like not remembering the endings.
Me neither.
So what? So let me just pull it up real quick. That the first ending's my favorite.
First ending, understandable. I actually can agree with that. Is very good.
Yeah.
I do really like the second one though. The second one is also really, really good. I can kind of remember it, but
It's
I
like da, 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 da,
mhm.
da. Da, da,
Yeah.
da, 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 da,
Okay,
da,
I
da, da,
retract my statement. I love the second one because now I remember it
da.
in
It
full.
is more up. I mean, they're both upbeat, but the second one is more is the BPM is probably faster. But I
Which
like
probably I
the
like it.
I like the twinkliness of the first ending.
That's fair. It did have a lot of like
It was charming.
twinkle, twinkle-ish sounds, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
So I can understand that. How did you feel watching the show?
I remember when we first started, it was like so relaxing that I think a couple of episodes I was like either I fell asleep or I was like on the verge of falling asleep. But it was just that it wasn't a diss to the show at all. It was a very relaxing show. And I think also when the plot kind of kicked in, it was engaging and I didn't have that problem anymore. But I found it like very calming because it was very slice of life ish and
Especially in the beginning.
it didn't take itself too seriously. and I enjoyed how I felt watching it. It was like I always looked forward to watching Comet-san when we watch anime.
I know every
So,
time
yeah.
we didn't get to, you was like super disappointed. I was like, I'm sorry. But your total opinion of the show.
I think it's like a little hidden gem. It's definitely not it's not a show that I remember from, like, being a kid and being into magical girl anime and seeing it in like, I would watch AMVs a lot on YouTube, and I'd see magical girl compilations and transformation compilations, and, like, I had no memory of seeing Comet. I don't think Comet was ever included in those, and I don't think I knew it existed until we started watching it last year. Well, maybe that's too much to say, but it honestly, like, I didn't know about it until very recently, like, when around the time we started watching it.
I introduced her. That was me.
And it was it was really charming because I really liked the art style. It was kind of its time. Was it, like, early 2000s? So cute. It reminds me of Doremi in that way, and
It was very Doremi-esque.
and, it was written for the younger demographic, and I love when shows are like that because they are very, like, calming and serene for the most part, and I think Comet was that for me, and I always looked forward to watching it. So, yeah, I liked it. I just I still think that it ended too abruptly, and, like, I could have used a better ending,
I
but
agree.
I liked.
All right. So, before I move on to the next question, how many baton twirls out of 10 would you give the show?
Baton twirls out of 10?
Mhm.
Ah, I would give it I would give it, like, a 7.4 baton
7.4.
twirls.
Understandable.
Yes.
So, you heard that, everybody? 7.4 baton twirls out of 10.
It is
That
like
means that eighth baton twirl fell short and it hit her on the head, Sakura style from Cardcaptor Sakura.
oh my god.
But that's not a
It's
bad
like I would
score.
recommend that you watch it. I would recommend it to anyone who's, like, looking to get into magical girl anime. It's definitely a cute watch, and
It is.
it's not as long as some shows, so it won't take you too long. And
This is
it's
true.
cute and relaxing, and you'll have a good time.
I agree. Yay! So we're on the same page. But you already actually kind of answered this last question. Why did you fall asleep during it? Why?
Because I would be so, like, rocked to sleep by it for some reason. Like, the very first few episodes I would find it so calming, and it was just I'm thinking about the time of year. When did we start? Was that also, like, February of last year? March?
Probably early, yeah. Because like
Yeah.
it was like right after we finished Little Witch Academia, or like during
Oh my
us
god,
watching Little Witch
yes.
Academia. So
Yes.
probably like 2020, late 2020, early
Mhm.
2020. Wait, sorry. Late 2023, early 2024.
2024, yeah. I say that to say because the sun was setting early in the day, and honestly, I get tired around this time.
Me, relatable. I love that for us. We are just some sleepy guys. We can't help it. I can relate, unfortunately. But I think this is where the interview will end. You've answered all
Yeah.
my questions. Now, tell people where they can find you. Tell them your
Uh,
socials. Tell them all
well,
the things.
you can find me you can find me at Dore Imani on pretty much everything, but of course YouTube is my main like platform, and the other ones that I frequently use are Instagram, and I guess I haven't been on Twitter very much lately, but I'm on there as well. Blue Sky I find to be really fun,
I gotta
because
get
it's
into
more
it.
like yeah, it's
I gotta get
I
into
like
it,
it because
guys.
it feels less like it feels more lax. Like I don't like I can just talk about like if I'm sewing something, I can just talk about the progress there. Whereas on Twitter, I feel like I'm broadcasting like information or news or something
And then it just like turns into
to
that
town
one
square.
meme
It's
that's
like,
like,
oh my god, it's like there's too many people. Those are my main socials that I'm on.
dang, go follow
I
her.
honestly just Instagram and YouTube.
It's this is me not asking you to follow her, by the way. This is a demand.
Oh my god. Please
This
follow
is
Cloud at maho_cloud on Instagram and on I think just Instagram. No, also here, duh, on YouTube.
and technically blue skies as well, but I have not made a post on that yet, so
That's fine.
I gotta get to that. Probably will make an introduction post sometime before this video. But see, we'll see. But Imani, thank you so much for agreeing to
Thank
do this
you for having me.
interview. Thank you, I appreciate you.
Yay. It was a blast from the last year past to talk about Comet. It was it was fun watching it, and it was like a part of our routine, like weekly routine at some point, so it's nice to like revisit it.
This is true, and you actually gave me the link to buy this. So,
This is true.
this is our baby. This is our, this is the fruit of our labor and my money.
That's what we have to show for.
This is true, but it's better than nothing, so I could have had nothing for this video, but I have something,
Yes.
and it's this one. But this is the end of the interview. Um, bye. Have fun watching the rest of the video.
Ah.
Bye.
To finish up this video, I'd just like to say that I'm very happy that Princess Comet got fully subbed finally, albeit fan subbed, because it ended up becoming one of my favorite magical girl shows, especially if we exclude Precure. I was able to finish the show during quarantine when somebody finally picked it up and finished translating the later half of the show. And I think for what this show is, it is really good in terms of messaging for kids to learn from Comet about kindness and, to a degree, responsibility. Especially in the later half where Comet commits to not relying on her magic as much. This show will forever hold a special place in my heart alongside Star Trek or Pretty Cure. It was this show that gave me comfort during those unprecedented times, and obviously it's like star themed and the main character is pink. And I'm pretty sure I will forever remember this show quite fondly. It's truly a shame at how rushed the ending felt, as it didn't get to unfold the story you could tell that the ending had in store. I truly hope that someone will come back with an English sub for the live actions in the manga, even if they are very different story-wise. I still want to be able to experience and say and consume that I consumed all of the media from this series. This show is such a calming, unique, and fun show that you could watch to unwind from a busy day, and hell, even an eventful day. And some of y'all know what I mean, especially if you work in retail. Something to help ground you after a stressful day. If you love a cute art style, the designs, the setting, a love for space, especially unique space environments such as castanet or harmonica or tambourine world, and maybe even just a little bit of a funness for baton twirling, then I believe this anime is for you. But for the time being, I gotta fly. See you next time, guys. Bye.